What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of Gimme Back My Horror Movies, the podcast. I'm your host, Charlie, and with me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
What is going on, everyone?
They can't answer you, they're listening in the future.
One day they're going to answer and it's going to blow our minds.
Yeah, Dan's always been on his kick about trying to do this show live, and I'm like, this is about as live as I feel comfortable doing this show.
Yeah, no, this would probably be as comfortable as could be without someone in the back going,
Yeah,
that'd be it.
yeah, we're not that comfortable around
Even the
here, but
crickets in the background would move out.
that's exactly it, man. Yeah, so as everyone can see, we are doing the more recent 2018 Overlord.
Yeah, I feel like this will be the newest movie we will do for a while.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. I'd
Uh,
say this is probably one of the newer ones. I didn't honestly forgot that this one was that new, and full disclosure, I've probably owned this movie for a year and I only just watched it for the podcast.
I finally got you to watch it.
I have this habit of going through the Walmart like $5, $7 bins and just going, "Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy." And just like
Well,
I
I'll,
got a
I'll get to that tonight. And
yeah,
then you get home and you just get distracted with something else.
that's it. Well,
We
or
live in a
what it
world where you mindlessly click on Netflix titles. Oh, there's nothing to watch, but there's a million things to watch. You just can't decide,
yeah.
you know,
So and I don't watch anything I've never seen before in the shop while I'm working
because you want to pay
because
attention.
I
You need
won't
to focus.
yeah, I'll pay attention to the movie. I won't pay attention to what I gotta get done. Um, that's the downside to it, so I have to put something in I've seen 1,000 times. So, yeah, this one just kinda been in my collection for a little while, and Nate's like, we've done, like, vampire, werewolf, kinda zombies on the action one, but
Kinda.
kinda not. And Nate's like, how about World War II zombies? And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm listening. So we decided
And
to do this movie, and man, have I been missing out. I've been sitting on a treasure trove.
the reason why I was like, hey, like let's try to, do this one if you're into it, is because I feel like this fits into the 80s horror genre. It just happens to be a war movie that is war movie first, horror movie second in a way.
Yeah. Oh, it.
Um, which is a very tricky thing to pull off because you're dealing with a real event that's also a very dark, depressing time, and to want to try to like do an alternate history on it, I can see where people were like, "Oh, that's so disrespectful to the actual victims of this," but it's alternative history. This is like a what if scenario.
This is like, well, we're getting into it now. Marvel's touching into you. We're getting all these
Exactly.
different like timelines and dimensions and alternate realities, and that's essentially what this movie they even approached it as. I mean,
Yeah.
I've
The
watched the interviews about it, and JJ is pretty much like it's an alternative view on what could have been. Um, no, this movie is fantastic.
yeah,
I'm
and
just
there's
gonna say it
still
now.
we all know that the Nazis were into occult stuff. So why
Oh
not
yeah,
take it one step further of like what if they were trying to make zombies? What if they were trying to do who
look,
knows? But
it's it's not like this stuff hasn't been touched on before. We have the
no, I mean,
Indiana Jones movies, we have
exactly.
the Hellboy movies.
The
So
Wolfenstein games, like this
uh,
is to me feels like someone couldn't get the rights to Wolfenstein, so they went, well, let's call it Overlord and make a few changes here or there
yeah,
and turn into this.
it's the Resident Evil Wolfenstein crossover we didn't know we wanted.
Yeah, because
And
like
that's what
those
this ended up being.
last like that trilogy of Wolfenstein games was what if the Nazis won the war and
Yeah.
America was occupied. So now it's just like this doesn't go that far, but it's what if the
No.
Nazis were into some really messed up stuff and we kind of uncover it?
Right. So, Anything we need to talk about before we jump into this? Anything going on?
I saw Dan for the first time in like 3 years recently. I forgot to tell you about that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Is this the concert?
yes. So Dan and I went and saw Frank Turner play here in Columbus, and it was one of those like it was a Sunday night. I always have to get up at work very early on the weekdays, so I was trying not to be out late. I was like, "We'll get there as soon as it doors open at 7. The show should be over by like 10. Boom, in and out." Well, I get there. Dan texts me. He's a little bit further ahead of line. Um, the show had been moved to next door. There's 2 venues here in Columbus. You have the basement, which is a real small, intimate venue. You have Express Live, which is next door. It's a real big place. Needless to say, he couldn't play at the basement. They had to move him next door. They had to build the entire stage, the PA system, right then and there next to the bar in this venue. So, sure enough, I get to Dan, but it isn't till like an hour and a half later. It's like 8:30. I'm like, this whole show has now been delayed. So I had to leave early just so I can make it to,
Betty
get a
by
couple
time
hours
in
of
time?
sleep. Yeah. But it was good to see Dan. I told him, I was like, we gotta get a drink with Pete. It's been
Yeah,
so long since I've seen the man. Like the last time that I've actually hung out with Dan was a board game night. So it's been a
yeah.
while.
I I mean, it's been over a year since I've been up
I
there. We're
can't
coming.
use COVID as an excuse. It's just being busy and,
Yeah, no, I
he's
mean, you
got
got
kids and a wife. Like I totally get you don't get the play times like you used to.
no. I mean, but you guys are within driving distance at least.
We
Me,
are.
it's like 6 hours to get up and
Yeah.
hang out with you guys. But now Dana told me about that you guys got to hang out and everything, and that was kind of cool. Except
Oh,
for one thing I heard that you were out in public in your Nickelback shirt that you
no,
swore
he
to
is
us
slanderous and lies. This
swore to
man
us that it was your
has
Jam
always tried
Jam
to
shirt.
tarnish my image, and I will not stand for it.
Okay. We'll see if there's any photographic evidence floating around with everyone
There
of
are
their cell
photos of us
phones.
there, and I will dig through them.
Okay. We'll see if anything comes from this by the time this releases.
Yeah. Well,
So
tonight I wore my special shirt that just says "Punch Nazis." I thought it was the most appropriate thing to
that's a
record.
fitting shirt. I was looking at that going, yep, that's the right kind of shirt to be wearing right
Oh,
now.
yes.
So all right, man. Well, I don't have a whole lot going on. We're revving up for the holiday seasons.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's
I've
around
been
the corner. Christmas
adding
is
stuff to my
coming.
cart.
Yeah, everything's coming at light speed. Now that I'm doing an episode a week, all my spare time is like watch this movie. We just released the double feature movie on the Action Podcast, so I was like, I have to watch two movies.
I have
I'm
to
not
research
complaining
2
that
movies.
bad. Yeah, it worked. But no, it's just I'm blinking and time is disappearing
No, these next
super
2
fast.
months are going to fly by,
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be
yeah,
trying to keep up.
it
So there's
will
gonna be,
be.
like, the next episode we're gonna record, like, "What are you up to?" Like, "I don't know, just busy at work trying to survive."
You're lucky I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm out of breath because I barely made it over here to the microphone. But all right, I'm
Today.
sure I'm sure everybody's tired of listening to us ramble on. So let's go ahead and play the trailer for
Yeah.
Overlord. Then we can dig into the it's we don't want to undershine the director on this. Yes, J.J. Abrams was involved with this heavily, but he also really supported the director's vision on what he wanted this to end up ultimately being and what we got. So let's get the trailer done, and this trailer makes up for the last movie trailer in high tension
Yeah, sorry about that,
because
guys.
this 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 trailer cranks it to 11. So here we go.
3 months ago, I was cutting grass in my front yard. And the mailman shows up with a letter from the army. Now I'm here. No idea where I'm gonna end up.
Welcome to France.
What happened here? Some questions don't have good answers.
There's a lot of soldiers out there. There's only 4 of us.
Find out what's inside that compound. What is this?
A 1,000-year army. These 1,000-year soldiers.
What's behind that wall?
What do you do with those people? They have been given a purpose.
That was I lying?
It's a
That
head
that
banging trailer.
that is, if Dan's episode doesn't get us a cease and desist letter from Gene Simmons, we might get one from ACDC, but
Gene will actually
we'll
send
see.
us one for this episode too.
Probably he's probably already copyrighted the name of the show, and right
He actually
now,
invented AC/DC, it turns out. We didn't know that.
yeah, I work for Gene now. Apparently, I'll get a letter in the
Yeah.
mail, and I'm now employed by him. Um, all right, Nate. Well, I say we go ahead and talk about the budget and the director and everyone behind this freaking fantastic movie.
Yeah, so this is obviously a Bad Robot Productions film,
Yep.
which is J.J. Abrams, house.
Hmm.
So he picked a young talent named Julius Avery to direct it. The man does not have much underneath his belt. He's got some short films.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
looked him up too.
he
I
does
think
have
he's
a
an up and
movie
comer.
coming out next year called Samaritan, which is Sylvester Stallone playing a retired superhero who's kind of gone into hiding that everyone thought is dead. So I'm very curious to see about how that's going to turn out, especially after watching Overlord,
I'm interested.
seeing, yeah, what this man did. Um, it was written by a guy named Billy Ray. He did the screenplay. It was touched up by Mark L. Smith. Neither one of them really had anything that stuck out to me of what I've seen. Mark L. Smith seems to be a little bit more known in Hollywood. Like he did some touch up on The Revenant. He's responsible for the god awful Martyrs remake. So I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit of horror there, but we're not dealing with horror people when it comes to this movie, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And
This didn't come from like a big horror production company.
no, not at all. And even when this movie was being hyped up, just like anything with Bad Robot almost, people thought this was going to be the fourth Cloverfield movie to the point where they kept calling it Clover Lord. They thought for
Yeah.
sure that because the plot was being kept under wraps for so long, we're going to get our Clovey movie. Like somewhere that monster is going to be in here, just like with 10 Cloverfield Lane. And then I can't remember the name of that one that came to Netflix off the top of my head, the Cloverfield Paradox or something
That
like that.
Cloverfield Paradox. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So, and this movie ended up no, it's a standalone thing. It doesn't belong to any universe.
No, it
And
doesn't.
you would think because of the names attached to it of Abrams and company that it would have done a little bit better at the box office, but it really didn't. Like it has a budget of 38 million. Its opening weekend only made 10 million. In the US and Canada, it grossed 21 million, and worldwide it made 41 million. So that's not a hit. Once you factor in, promotions and such, like the movie's technically a flop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee them putting a ton of promotion into this, although I'm sure it cost a pretty penny to get AC/DC in your trailer. But yeah, I was a little taken aback at the numbers, but then I also have to look at it as I didn't watch it either when it came out.
Yeah, like this was a date night movie for me and Hannah. Like we went to theaters and saw this because I was just like, zombie Nazis getting shot. Like we have to go see this.
Yeah.
Um, we were the only people in the theater, and I think we saw this like the second weekend it came out. I don't think we got to it on opening weekend, but it was, you know, a date night. Go, let's go get food. We'll go to the movies, and we'll go somewhere else afterwards. Like that's what this movie was to us, and like I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times now, and I still absolutely love it, and I'm so glad I finally got you to watch it.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I pulled the trailer off of YouTube, and the YouTube video I think had like 15 million plays. So it's like people are aware of this movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be another cult classic that rears its head and gets a following.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
15 years down the road to 20 years, like, people will be like, "Oh, yeah, remember why don't we have more movies like Overlord? Why
this
can't we
is
have more like this?"
well, and I think that also fits perfectly in what the ultimate goal of what we're doing here is this is literally a movie that is giving us back our horror movies.
Yeah, like,
This
this I could have this as a VHS title on my shelf right now. That's
yeah,
what this movie should be. Like,
this one totally could have been. This one there's no reason this one couldn't have been made in the 90s, the 80s. I mean, even to the point when we're going to highlight a lot more of the me and Native talk, and there's an unsung hero in these movies, and it's the special effects people, the
yeah,
companies that are involved in bringing all this to life. And this movie in particular, they went into it saying, we want more practical effect than CGI effect.
I'd say it's probably 90% practical, 10% CGI, and
I
the
don't know
CGI is just kinda there to touch up.
if you eliminate the beginning of the movie, you're
But even in
100%
the
correct.
beginning of the movie, a lot of that was they had, taken apart an airplane and, like,
Yeah.
tilted it upside down. That way you're actually throwing just stuntmen
Yeah,
out
I'm
of it.
talking like all of the
But,
exterior
like, yeah, the
shots.
exterior shots, definitely.
Because
Like,
that's one thing that's probably, while the whole movie is fantastic, my favorite part of the movie is the beginning, and that's what I wanna dig into here in a little
oh,
bit.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I absolutely love that. So let's give the people what they came here for, not the movie, not anything else. They want Nate's 3 sentence
This
synopsis.
is the only reason why they tune in to the whole show.
That's it. After this, we should do it at the end so
Yeah,
they'll
that way we
stay
can
for the
actually
whole
keep our
episode.
listeners.
We'll do like the Dateline news specials. They would always be like, "This cereal may kill you. Stay tuned at 9."
And then
And
you're
then
like,
we'll
"Oh,
play it till like 9:58,
is
and
Tony
it
the
was
Tiger
like,
actually a tiger that's gonna kill me?"
and then it ends up being like, this little girl found a box of Kellogg's in an old abandoned cabin, and a piece of glass had fallen into it, and if she had ate it, she'd have died.
And she should have never been in that old abandoned factory
Yeah.
anyway.
It's like, oh, wow. You sat through all their puff pieces about a grandma who turned 97 and she crocheted her millionth doily, and her daughter
And she
was just,
graduated from college,
yeah, we're not
left all that
knocking
student loan debt, though, for her daughter.
we're not knocking anyone that actually did that. I was just rambling at that point, just seeing where I could take it. And that's as far as I'm taking it. So, Nate, I'm gonna have to get you a sound drop for this thing.
Yes,
Now
you
that this is a
do.
bit, I need Nate's 3 sentence synopsis.
Go ahead and jot that down. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I jotted.
The horrors of war, trapped behind enemy lines. Die, Nazi, die.
Those are really short sentences, Nate.
They're very short sentences. That was almost the one I turned into a haiku because I thought it'd be pretty cool to have a Nazi die in haiku, but
Yeah, you see, we've
once
got a
again,
demand.
just couldn't get it.
We got a demand for the haikus, man. So
It's
you
gonna happen.
You need to be doing that. So, since I already knew what Nate wrote because he read it to me, I actually have a synopsis for the movie. So
Yeah, of
we
what
can
the
get,
movie's actually about.
yeah, we can get a little bit better than the trailer and Nate's three sentences of "Die Nazis Die." Um, so
There's gonna be a lot of
here's
that. I can't wait to talk about
that
all
all
that.
there is. So here is our synopsis for Overlord. With only hours until D Day, a team of American paratroopers drop into Nazi occupied France to carry out a mission that's crucial to the invasion's success. Tasked with destroying a radio transmitter atop a fortified church, the desperate soldiers join forces with a young French villager to penetrate the walls and take down the tower. But in a mysterious Nazi lab beneath the church, the outnumbered GIs come face to face with enemies unlike any the world has ever seen. So we are introduced to a movie that is the day before D-Day.
It's the
The
hours leading into it, correct?
Yeah, this is at night, the day before, the 5th of June, 1944. So D-Day is when we stormed the beaches. We had our entire naval fleet ready to go. This
On the beach
was
of Normandy,
yeah,
and
this is a
this one opens up deciding because so many movies do that after Saving Private Ryan, like that's real horror, and we're covering fake horror blended into a really horrific event. It's so strange
yeah.
to cover, but this movie decided to do something I've not seen before, which is let's take it to the skies.
I love and this is why this is the part I'm probably going to talk the most about, but I'm not going to go scene by scene. Basically, I'm just going to give you this broad overview of there is air support, obviously, for the naval fleet that's coming through. And ahead of that are, as it said in the synopsis, we are following a group of paratroopers who are going to infiltrate a radio tower so that they can disable all communications between the Germans and their soldiers and their fleet and their planes. It's like the big thing. So the other thing to keep in mind is this is not based on anything that happened other than the war. They are very loose with actual things that happened other than this is
Yeah,
the day
it's not
before.
like this was an actual mission. I mean, there's
No,
probably very similar missions to this, but this is not based off any specific one that happened
the
during the war.
I was going to pull the drop, but I figured this would be easier to say than try to record JJ saying it. Was he 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 immediately went into this going, I don't have to be historically accurate in everything because it's a movie about zombies. So that already knocks you out of the realm of reality. So there's zombies in this. I don't need to worry about that. There were no black paratroopers that were sent with the regular
Yeah, like
infantry.
I saw that people were
That
complaining about that. I was like, really? Like in a movie that has Nazi zombies, we're
Nazi
gonna be
zombies,
mad about race. Like
I,
that's
and
cool. Awesome
and
guys.
I zero don't care. And matter of fact, love the guy that they got
Yeah.
to play that we follow in this.
A gentleman by the
So
name of Jovan Adipo, I think is how you pronounce it. He plays Boyce. That's our main character because he's not quite a pacifist, but he's definitely he knows right from wrong. He's thrown into a war that, like any young person would have been thrown into,
well,
like, "Hey, what am I
he
doing
was
here?"
he was drafted because he
Yeah,
says just 2 weeks ago I was mowing grass at my
and I got a
grandma's.
letter.
Yeah, and he goes, I got a letter from the government. So we're opened up inside the plane. So we're getting this first person kind of experience of them all just sitting there flying in. They're talking about how long it's going to take to get there.
Yeah, you're getting
He
introduced to our cast of characters, which is like there's, Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son,
Kurt
who
Russell's son,
is
I am beginning to become a fan of him.
oh,
I
this movie
really
won
am.
me over for him. There was a little show that came out earlier this year where a lot of people were giving him flack, and I was like, "No, like, trust me, this guy has so much potential."
No, and this movie's probably what got him that because there was a
Oh, it's
lot of
without a doubt what
parallels
got him,
to being
Falcon and Winter
U.S.
Soldier.
Yeah, where this guy he played U.S. agent in the Disney show, Winter Soldier and Falcon, and I I'm telling you, I'm watching this guy. If I see him
Oh,
pop
yeah.
up in something, I'm watching
definitely.
him.
How did
I
we not get a movie where Kurt Russell fights Nazis back in the day?
I don't know.
Like,
I
when I
don't
was
know.
watching this and, like, seeing Wyatt fight Nazis and just the way he's punching and kicking and stuff, I'm like, "W we deserve this with Kurt as well." Hell, give me a buddy up movie where him and Kurt just go around punching Nazis. I don't care, but it was just like, how did the '80s not allow that to happen? It blows my mind. Because in the multiverse, like we talked about with the what ifs in the Marvel universe, that movie exists.
Sure. I mean,
It does.
it could be a Escape Nazi Germany, the Snake Plissken adventure that we didn't
Yeah,
know happened or something like that. But we'll save that for the action show though.
we will. We will.
Yeah, we'll do that. So as and again, I want to highlight certain things that they wanted to do as much practical effect as possible. They built a bomber fuselage. These actors are actually inside of an airplane belly, strapped in. It's on a gimbal that moves left, right, up and down,
Yeah.
shakes, everything. So it's as realistic as you could do. That's not, everyone on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise, leaning left
Shake.
and right
Yeah, and
because
there's a green
s-
screen behind us.
yeah. So I'm already in love with how this movie's being shot because I love war movies. I love anything that can kind of drop you into the action, stuff like Midway and Memphis Belle and
1917 being a recent
yeah,
one that is
1917 is a recent one, but I'll watch the old ones too.
yeah. Oh no, like
Old war movies, I love them.
I've learned that my 30s have been defined by watching old war movies and barbecuing.
Yeah, it's kind of this thing you have to go through as a
Yeah, I'm
male.
realizing it's something I gotta go
Yeah,
through, and you know what? I'm enjoying it.
yeah, nothing wrong with it, man. We've all been there, just come along for the ride.
Yeah,
Eventually, you're going to be like, I need to do a podcast about this.
yeah,
So,
I might have to.
give me back my war movies. But
Give me back my barbecue.
that's a totally different franchise. Patent pending, Gene. But again, he's drinking water when I drop it. That's like the Nate thing in every episode is I inadvertently make him laugh when he's drinking a
Yeah.
bottle of water.
One
But
day this
no,
laptop's gonna go to hell.
just the phone screen that I'm watching him on is going to just spray with water, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Nate's out of this episode for now. I will carry the torch. No, so it starts out in the air, you know, bombs going off everywhere. They've got the flak cannons that are shooting, um, and it literally starts semi slow, and then literally all hell breaks loose. I
Yeah,
mean,
like, it is they are
it's
now behind enemy lines, and there's artillery rounds hitting their plane.
yeah. So and it this is the other thing I love of the visuals of this movie is it's literal hell. So a bomber gets blown up beside them. They experience the explosion from where they're sitting. Their plane gets shot up from the underbelly and two or three guys die in that. They're all trying to panic, but their commanding officer, which I love this guy. This guy, I remembered him from The Rock with Nicolas Cage.
Is that where he's from? He's
Yeah,
got one of those faces where it's like, "I know you from
he's
something."
been in a ton of other stuff, but he was one of the other mercenaries that helped take over Alcatraz.
Okay.
Um, so I'm already watching him. I could not get a drop for him because every time he talked, something blew up. Because he's literally like, "Didn't I promise you guys an awesome day or something like that?" As planes were exploding around him, and they give this emotion, or not emotion, but it shows you that these guys have a job to do no matter what's going on around them. And that's kind of this thread that goes through the movie is, yep, 16 guys over in that plane just died. Hook up to the line, you guys are getting ready to
Start
jump
jumping.
out of this plane. And we don't jump till the light turns. Well, the light's getting ready to turn and then all of a sudden they lose their engine and the literal back half of the airplane explodes into it literal hellfire. it's like this swirling vortex of flame, and guys are getting sucked into it while the others are trying to go forward and jump out the side of the plane. So it's like you either jump out the side or you get sucked down into hell. It
Yeah, and
was
it's
this literal decision some of them were making.
sensory overload because, like, you have all the gunfire going off, you have people screaming, you have the bullets going, like, it's
Oh,
chaos happening, and, like, you have to make a decision, and the camera, like, does this amazing thing where it follows Boyce as he falls out of the plane,
yeah. And he
and I'm telling you,
falls.
it follows him all the way until he impacts into water beneath.
Yeah, he lands in water. So you literally went from hellfire, free falling. Now he's in quite a bit of depth of water, tangled up in his parachute ropes, having to cut himself free, struggle to swim back up, and have to come up through his parachute silk at the top. So it's
Yeah.
almost like he's being like almost reborn as he popped up through there and had to cut his way out of the parachute. I mean, this is the beginning of the movie. And then he gets loose. He gets spotted by other Nazi troops that obviously they're the ones that are shooting at the planes. They chase him around a little bit. He tries to find whoever is left
He's just trying to find
surviving,
anyone left in his,
anyone.
platoon.
He hears his commanding officer. He's surrounded by Nazis, and he's basically doing the whole bravado thing. It's like what we all would hope we were doing instead of
Yeah,
shitting
the
our
like
pants.
yeah, because like, I
Uh,
would not survive World War II. I would be pooping my
no,
pants and just like, "No, I
he,
cannot survive those times. I am
he's
well aware of it. I'm cool with it."
he's asking the Nazis for a cigarette and all this other
Yeah.
stuff.
He's being,
And
like, just totally like, "Alright, I know I'm
yeah,
about to die. I don't have my gun on me.
no,
You Nazi
he,
bastards are just gonna shoot me down, so
yeah,
let's get
he's
this
like,
over with."
I got nothing, I got nothing left. Boyce, it looks like Boyce is trying to jump in to help him, and Ford is the name of Wyatt Russell's character. Grabs him, holds him down, like there ain't shit you can do, man. There's like
Yeah.
20 Nazis
He's
and
like, "If you
one of
fire
you.
on them, you've got 1 gun, they've got
Yeah,
15 or 20. Like, you're not gonna live this. What we have to do is be smart, continue on with the mission."
yeah. And as things kind of calm down, the Nazis disperse back to wherever they were at. We're left with Boyce and Ford. They find two other guys, Chase and can't remember the Brooklyn
Tibbet,
guy's name, Tibbet, and
which
they are.
Tibbet is like our classic Brooklyn
Oh yeah, you got
guy,
to
you
have that in
know?
war.
He's got
I
like the
mean,
toothpick in his mouth, like, "What are you looking at?" kinda guy. Like,
it's a
we
World
get
War
every
II shtick.
single yeah, like
Yeah,
because Ford Wyatt Russell, he is the leader who's been transferred to this unit. You've
yeah,
got Boyce is the rookie.
yep.
You've got Tibbet is our sniper that's a smartass.
And
Then you've
Chase is
got
our
Chase is
photographer.
our photographer that just wants to take pictures of the war. Clearly is not really he's got a handgun, I think, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they make him go through boot, and that's about it. So
We have a fifth guy, but he instantly gets blown up by a
oh, I
landmine.
love
Because
that.
when we finally get this team together, it's like, all right, we got our classic ragtag team of 5,
Yeah,
explosion, ragtag team of 4.
yeah, they're like, we have a mission. It's if we don't do this, the entire invasion fails. Like the entire war effort is on these guys' shoulders, and you're like, okay, 5. Ooh, those odds aren't good, but maybe. And then out of nowhere, oh, 4.
It's
And when
shocking, and it's
this
a
dude blows
huge
up out, no,
explosion.
it caught me off guard.
Yeah,
I was not expecting it, and it
because it's literally
starts.
moments after they've all kinda gathered and realized like,
Oh yeah,
"Well, I guess we're just gonna sally forth."
and not that I want to go backwards too far, but there is one shot in this movie that it was haunting, terrifying, and beautiful at the same time. And it's when Boyce looks back once he kind of gets his bearings and he sees the forest that he's landed in, and you see trees, but as your eyes focus you realize hanging from the trees are all of these other paratroopers that died,
Yeah, the
and they
ones
are
that
just
didn't even make it
they
to
never
land.
made it to ground,
Yeah.
and they're just barely swaying in the air.
It's
And it's like got this red hue to it, and I love that shot. That shot is it does something to you emotionally when you
yeah,
see
and
it.
throughout this entire movie, it is brilliantly shot because you gotta think $38 million for a budget is not much when it comes to a war movie.
No,
So
no,
then
not
what
even.
happens is you get creative. How do you use your landscapes? How do you do your different shots? Like there are shootouts in this where it's like there's only a shootout between like 2 on 2, but the
Mhm.
way that it feels and the way it's shot feels way more claustrophobic, feels like there's a lot more going on, but it's just they utilize creativity, like,
They
it's
do,
really
and
cool.
I like when they shine a spotlight on that later when 2 guys have to hold off like 30 Nazis and
Yeah,
make it appear that they're a larger force. So there this movie is very smartly done. It it's creative in the way that they shot it. It's creative in the way how they make it seem like, yeah, these guys could actually have pulled this off. Yeah, I can believe 3 or 4 guys can take out this tower that's in a church.
and it's I mean, it's tight. This movie is very tight. There's
Oh,
no loose ends, there's no
there's no
moments
fluff.
of yeah, exactly, like, it is and it's a 2-hour-long movie, so
Yeah,
you would think there'd
there's
be moments of like, "Oh, you can cut that, you can get rid of that." Every piece
no.
of this movie is essential.
It is, although there is a scene that I already had Pete in the back of my head groaning. And it's
Oh,
back on
really?
one of the things we've already talked about in the show that for some reason that they have to keep showing semi
Oh,
rape scenes.
yep, you know what? That is true, because Nazis are already bad, we don't have to show them being more bad, like, we didn't have to go there, but even in 2018, we still seem to think that's the way to portray a bad person. It's like you could just avoid sexual assault. It's not that hard. Be better.
It did fuel the female lead. It did really
It there
make you
was
believe that
it gave
she's
you a
like,
background for her of like,
yeah.
there's reasons why she wants these Nazis to die. There's a reason why she wants this specific one to die.
Also, how they've lasted this long in Nazi occupied
Yeah.
France. So
Uh,
er, we're
we're in
in
France.
France. Yeah,
Yeah,
because there's talking French.
because she speaks in French.
Again, this isn't as accurate, and if I misspeak on something, I apologize. But I'm just trying to get through the movie. Um, so they've landed. They
Now that we've
are.
mentioned her, I mean, they find refugee with her.
Yeah, that's where I
I
was
feel like
heading.
that's what we should say. Is just like they have now found their way to her home, and I gotta say, I do a terrible job sometimes navigating Columbus. I can't imagine navigating a foreign land occupied by Nazis with a foreign language. Once again, I would die in World War II. I'm not going to survive.
That's okay, Nate. I don't think we have to
Just
worry
I
about it.
need to make that clear.
So our female lead, Chloe, played by Mathilda Olivier. Yeah, Olivier.
Think we got a
Um,
lot of hard names to pronounce in this one.
yes, yes, we do. But anyway, she is our heroine basically throughout this movie. She is staying with her younger brother and her aunt. And I'm gonna say, man, they kept building the aunt up, and I was a little let down. Now, I the
They mentioned
reveal of
she's
how she
sick,
looked, yeah,
and when she appears on screen for the first time to
it's
show you that
shocking.
she's sick, it's shocking. It reminded me of Pet Cemetery with the grandma locked up in the other room. That's what it
Pet
reminded me
Cemetery.
of. Yeah, where it's like the
Oh, the
creepy old
sister.
woman. Yeah, is it sister?
That's the sister.
Oh boy, she did
Yeah,
not age well then.
Zelda. She had that disease that like crippled her body and like her spine and everything was coming out.
That's
That
what it took me
was
to.
Tasha Yar's sister because that's who plays the mom in that. Um, Another Star Trek reference. I'm got a running thing in all these
Yeah, you
episodes. Star
do.
Trek comes up. So they take refuge in her home and they are posted up in the attic and we kind of just this is probably the slower part of the movie, yet they find ways to just pop little
Well, this is where
things in.
we get an introduction to the Nazis. We find out that uh Waffner, it's
I think
Waffner,
it's Voffner. Yeah.
played by Pilo Aspiak. He's from Game of Thrones. He was a real prick in that show too.
Hmm.
Um, but it shows that they come around to this village often. They're kidnapping people, and those people just never return. And there's rumors in the village of what's going on. No one really knows. But one of these Nazis does a thing that pissed me off so much because they have a little boy in this house as well,
Yeah.
and they go up there to the attic to see what the little boy's up to, and he rolls a baseball to him. And this Nazi scum spits on a baseball, and that's an American crime in my eyes. You
That
do not
that
spit on a baseball. And that's where I wanted the bear Jew to come out and knock some heads around.
that scene was a little. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. And then speaking of the little boy, he's running around with a ball glove and a baseball, and he goes to our Brooklyn character.
Yeah, because he wants
Our
to play baseball with all these Americans. He's
yeah,
like, this is
and
awesome.
you're automatically thinking, okay, yeah, the Giants or something like that.
Yeah.
Nope, this New York dude hates baseball.
Yeah. He's like,
Break,
nah, I don't like it.
yeah, he broke that stereotype in two
Yeah,
seconds.
he
He's like,
did.
nope, I don't mess around with baseball. That's not my thing. I was like, he goes, if you can go get me a deck of cards or a pool table or something, he's like, we'll play pool or something. I was like, damn, that was pretty good. They didn't even go with the old shtick of baseball, you know, uniting people.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
no, I don't like baseball.
this whole scene too of them being in the attic, I was like, well, any minute now they can just start raining bullets on these Nazis below them, right? Like we just instantly jump back into the action. But it's like, nope, gotta
No,
play it
they're on a
smart.
mission.
They have no idea you're there. You got the mission to complete.
No, they have to break into a church, which is what they're told. That you see this giant antenna. Well, they get there and they realize that this church, quotation marks, is fortified to the nines.
Yeah, it's
There's
not just a standard church. Like
no, there's
this
something
has a
else going
full
on
on. It's a
here.
fortress.
Yeah, it's a fortress, literal fortress. So they're trying to rethink what they're going to be able to do with the amount of guys that they have. So some guys get sent out as to see if
Doing
anyone
recon.
else. They're doing recon, but they went to go see if anyone else made it to the rendezvous point to bolster their numbers because there's only four of these guys running around right now. So we're going to fast forward a little bit now. The German captain comes in to the house where they're hiding out. Starts doing unnice things to. It doesn't get graphic. Don't
It
worry.
doesn't.
It
No,
doesn't
it
go. There's
alludes
no.
to just uncomfortableness. But
Yeah, it's super
thankfully,
uncomfortable.
before it gets too further ahead, Boyce he's like, I'm not going to hide anymore. So he actually
Yeah,
stomps on down and points the gun to the back of Waffner's head. And then that's when we get this amazing punch from Ford, just punching the hell out of this Nazi. Oh, it's so good.
I love it. He does that quite a bit too, leading up to
Oh,
as
yeah.
this movie goes. So once they, now they're kind of like, crap, we've got this guy. Let's try and get some information. He's not giving out any information, no matter how much Ford beats the piss out of him. So Ford decides to send Boyce, hey, you need to go get the other two that we sent out on recon, find out where the hell they are. We all need to regroup because there's like a countdown. They're down into hours now before the invasion happens that they
Yeah,
have
they
to
need to
get
get
this thing
this
down.
over to the
Yeah, this is
Allies.
like super fast they're having to go through.
And
So,
when Boyce is
right.
into this church, this is where to me it turns into pure Wolfenstein
Oh,
because
this is like
he
video
gets
game
behind enemy
right now.
lines. He rides a van or not a van, a truck into it. But it's like this is
Of
a
dead
World War II
bodies.
haunted
That
house.
was that was actually kind of cool. He hides in a box truck of dead bodies
Yeah,
and puts one on top of him to get by all these people. I was like,
it-
oh, that always
so
still just.
gross.
I hate that. I've seen other movies where like people hide under body parts and shit like that. I can't stand that. I
No,
hate
would
that.
not be
I
able to do
hate
it.
it.
Once again, we would not survive World War II.
That is a point. I am out. I am out. My hands would come up and go, "You got me.
Ah, I'm alive.
Ah, you got me. Thought I
Ah,
fooled you. You're too
turns
smart
out
for
I can't do
me."
this.
You know, you guys
What do you
recruiting? Nah, I don't want to be part of this.
Nah,
That's
nah, I
fine.
don't wanna be a part
Nah,
of
I'm
this.
kidding. Just shoot me. Just shoot me.
Your
It's
your
fine.
team sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like the outfit. Let's change the outfit. So yeah, he ends up in this church, and
And
it's
it's
like
just
catacombs and
yeah,
dungeon
and
and
it's
all
terrible
this stuff.
noises. You just hear people screaming. There's, like, the classic surgery sounds going on, but it's like a power drill and a power saw, and you just have
Yeah.
Nazis being present as well, which is already terrifying. And he's just trying to navigate around because he doesn't even really know what he's looking for.
Well,
And,
no,
like
he ends up in this place totally accidental. He did not
yeah,
go into the church on purpose. It just happened.
and,
He was
like
running away.
as
And
he's walking
yes,
around, he finds like a dude in a cocoon that's all bagged up. Like he sees it's a
oh,
body
it was
moving, so he
so
unzips it and just blood gushes out of this bag. And then you see this like gooey man like
his
burst.
head push out. Yeah.
And
So
he's
if you
got like a gas mask almost on or something like that that he's like
yeah,
taking off. And
it reminded me of that scene in one of the Blade movies where it's the blood farm where they're harvesting blood out of humans, and
yeah.
they're all like in the vacuum sealed containers, and they're all hooked up to pipes and lines and everything. It's
Yeah,
essentially
it's like they're
that, but it's
keeping this guy alive for something, but it's just like there's a sadistic experiment going on
yeah,
here.
and that's another thing I want to talk about in a little bit is I almost didn't catch what was going on because when you find out what everything was about, they don't stay on that topic very long. It's
No,
very
not really.
oh, this is why, bye, and that's it. So he's running around, he's kind of sneaking around this place, just trying to
And
get his bearings. He ends up finding the control room for the antenna, which that's important. That's actually
yep,
what they're looking for. And then he finds his buddy that he had a moment with at the beginning of the movie, and he's laying on this table with this giant freaking tube attached to his stomach.
it's like a vacuum tube, and like
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
weird
I'll
looking.
pull it off real quick. It shouldn't take but a second." And when you
No,
find out when he pulls it off, it's like a 6-inch needle.
go
Oh,
ahead. Oh, I
it's
was gonna
so
say
gross.
because we have to talk about because this comes up in the next thing is before he can even do that, these Nazi doctors come walking into the room, so he hides, and we see them pull another dead GI, American GI, strap him to a table, and then inject him with this liquid,
Yeah, it's
and
a
dude
red
comes
serum.
alive. Yeah, this dude just comes to life and starts moaning and crying and yelling and doing all this stuff. And the Germans. That was another thing I was noticing. And it was a choice they made. So we understand English. All of the French, or most of the French, is subtitled, so we
Yep.
can understand what's going on. None of the German is subtitled.
No.
None of it. But you can watch this movie and basically know what they're saying, or at least what they're talking
Yeah, you
about.
definitely have a good idea of what they're alluding towards. And like
Yeah.
even in this haunted room of horror, there's even like a head that's
Oh,
still
the
attached to
head.
the spine that is talking
Yeah,
and
this
moving.
girl's head.
And the effects of that are so cool because it looks 100% real. That doesn't look like it is fake by any means.
No, no, no. It's
And
her
she's like
head.
Ripley from like Alien Resurrection of like kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me.
And we're not talking like the head cut at the neck and sticking on top of the table, that old gag where they're hiding under the table. No,
No,
this
no.
head is on the back of the head, held up in like a vice, and her spine is going down the table attached to
It's
cables
the
and stuff.
fatality that Sub-Zero does where he rips your head off and the spine's still
There you
attached.
go. That's
So
exactly
Sub-Zero
it.
did this
It's
to her and then put the head in a vice
the
and lift
Mortal
the spine back.
Kombat, the Predator in Predator 1 when he
Yeah.
pulls out the Indian's head, and that's this head that's still talking and begging him to put her out of her misery,
Me
and you're
walking
just like,
through that
"Holy shit."
chambers of horror, I would have saw that head, passed out, the Nazis would have caught me, I'd be dead. Once again, I would have not survived World War II.
yeah, Nate keeps putting himself further in this movie, and we already know that he probably didn't make it through boot.
Nope, did not
You know,
make it through boot, actually.
maybe
Why do
got
I even
onto
think
the
that I would make it
plane,
through boot?
maybe got on the plane. Not 100% sure.
Even, like,
He's
Steve Rogers when he's that scrawny little ass and, like, got all that heart. Not me. No, I'm a very
no.
selfish human being.
Nate goes, I cannot do this all day. I am out.
I could not. No. When the grenade got thrown, I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm ducking out as well. I am not jumping on it.
No, 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 no,
Run
no, no.
faster, you fools."
And that's also going to be the next this trope I noticed as I watched this movie. Boyce gets his bell rung at least 4 times in this movie. From the plane exploding, he's next to the dude that blows up on the landmine. A grenade goes off near his head. He blows up a container later in the movie. This guy has massive brain damage at the end of
Oh,
this
he's got
movie.
it. Is it tintinitis? Is that the one where you just
Oh,
"Muh,
tinnitus,
muh, can't hear anything?"
the whole Archer thing.
Yeah.
Ma,
"Muh,
ma,
muh."
ma.
That's him. He may have a concussion. This whole movie could actually just be in his head.
Oh my god. I just kept noticing that. Like every time something would happen, dude got blown up.
Yeah.
Boom. And I'm like, he's disoriented. His ears are
He's
bleeding or something. I don't know. He's not surviving long if he does survive.
Thankfully, somehow he makes it his way back to the house, though,
With
and that's where we get
Rosenfeld,
to
with the dude he
yeah,
had the thing in his
with
stomach, he
Rosenfeld.
saves him.
He saves him, and that's where we get to a part that I absolutely love. It's time to interrogate a Nazi. This might as well be like a
Oh
1970s game show to me.
yeah, yeah. They string him up.
They
They
hoist him up, they boot him to the face, they brass knuckles. Chloe gets a good
everything.
knife into him,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
she
after
stabs
she
his leg.
stabs him in the leg, Ford takes it and starts twisting it because they're wanting to know what's inside this church. Like,
Yeah,
what is going on? He's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. And they're
Boyce.
just laying
Boyce.
haymakers.
Yeah, Boyce had even grabbed a syringe of whatever the liquid was as he was making his way out because he saw what it did. So they're questioning this guy. What are you guys doing down there? What is this? What? How many are in there? What's your armament? All this stuff because there's still countdown
And like
clock
when they
of
show
a
him the
mission.
serum, his eyes kind of light up like, oh shit. They
Yeah,
know.
he
They
sees
know
that
something.
immediately. Like, oh yeah, so that we can't. I can't tell them about that. So they beat the piss out of him. Boyce is trying to pull everybody off of him because he's still the good guy. He's like, no, this
Yeah,
isn't
he
right.
doesn't
He's
he's
like,
like, we're not them. We can't be
yeah,
like behave like them. And Ford's like, "Nah, like, he would have no mercy for you."
he would do it to us. He's like, I don't care. I'm not. We're not him. So they all go downstairs. They kind of go over the plan. Now they have an extra guy. So Rosenfeld is well enough to at least participate in the
Yeah, at
raid.
least help with the war now or with
Yeah.
the mission.
So they get everything planned. They're going to use the evil Nazi to get in as a distraction. Well, he sends Chase up, the photographer, go up there, gather him up, bring him back down here. Nazi's playing dead, basically. Chase gets um, pulls out his gun because he thinks the guy's dead. He's like laying there, just laying,
He's laying there
motionless.
flat, and there's a bag over his head, so you can't
Yeah, so
see any facial expressions.
he can't see anything, and the Nazi surprises him. They tussle. Chase takes a bullet straight through the sternum,
Yeah, he
right
takes,
in
like,
the
2
chest.
bullets straight there.
And everyone rushes upstairs. We have another little fight with everyone. They finally get the upper hand on
Another
the
boot to the
Nazi.
face.
Yeah. Oh, they crush this dude's face.
I loved
They
it. Every
really
moment
do.
was so glorious. But, like, this movie reminds you that war is very sad, and, like, when Chase they open up his shirt, there's blood pouring
Oh,
out his
it's
chest,
pumping. It's every heartbeat
and
because he's talking.
yeah,
You
he's
know
turning white, and he just asked for his camera, and, like, dude, that was so heartbreaking to watch because
that
this is a
was.
guy that didn't need to be in this war in the first place, and, like, when he's just like, "Give me my camera, I just wanna hold on to my camera," and then he just slips away.
Yeah, he's gone at that point. So they're all losing it, trying to figure out what to do with the Nazi. And Boyce gets the bright idea. I watched him stab a dead dude with this serum. I'm gonna
We're in
do
the
it
scenario.
to my dude, and stabs Chase in the chest with the serum, pumps it in there. and nothing happens at first. And everyone's like, what are you doing? What we don't care about that. That's not the mission." And then Chase sits straight up, and he is apparently brought back to life, but he's still breathing through the blood and everything that's in his lungs. So it's very labored and gargled as he's
Yeah, and he's like,
breathing.
"I'm burning up. I'm really, really hot, and
Yeah,
I need a drink."
he's getting all insane. He asked for a drink, and this is the only drop I could get because this is kind of the mood of everything that's happening upstairs in this attic.
Bad as it looks, I guess. That's weird. Add it to the list.
Yeah, add it to the list. So he crushes the water
The
canteen like it's
canteen after he
paper,
takes a drink of it.
and then it starts. No, you're not prepared for what's about to happen. So if you want to
No,
watch
this
this
turns
movie, watch it
into The
before
Thing.
you listen to us. Yeah, this is straight up the thing.
Yeah,
So
like, and it's all practical effects, and you blew my mind with the little bit of information you found out
yeah,
about this.
so he jumps up. He's kind of panicking. He's like, you see this like black veining start appearing all over his body,
Yeah,
down
all of
his
his veins are
arms,
popping
everything.
out, and they're dark.
He's flexing his body. It's almost like involuntary, and he's trying to fight it. He runs up to one of the beams in the house and headbutts it. He's like, "I'm burning up. My head
Dude,
hurts."
he
And
breaks the beam. Like,
he
when he
breaks the
headbutts it, it
beam.
full on breaks, and it's just like, not
And
only is this stuff bringing you, like, back to life, it is giving you the super soldier serum
oh yeah,
that's
you,
making you
you're.
way stronger than you need to be.
It's like your adrenaline is on 1,000. And
Yeah,
so
like, you're on next level.
he does that, tries to keep talking, and then his body just convulses and he snaps his head back. I mean, his back of his head touches his back.
Yeah, like, and it looks like
Snapped.
his spine, like, literally, like, jumps up and, like, flops backwards almost with
Yeah,
the way that his head.
like his head just elongated, but
Yeah,
it was a spasm.
and then when
Plus,
he, like, goes forward and his head goes back into normal, kinda, but it's like you
yeah,
have
kinda.
the
His
bones, like, the clavicle bone is, like, sticking out, and, like, he just looks really contorted, and the base around his neck is all screwed up.
Yeah, so his collarbone is poking up through the skin, all this stuff. And this is what I told Nate. I have the DVD, so I was watching the special features. That whole dude was an animatronic. They built a guy to snap his own neck. That
And,
was
like,
not CG. I mean, maybe some magic on
just some little
coloring.
touch ups, but for the
Yes.
most part, it's because Julius Avery wanted authentic reactions to what is going on to the actors, what's happening around them. And the
Yeah.
best way to do that is with practical effects. And
So he built a neck snapping robot. I mean,
yeah.
that's
And
and
even then, after like they decide basically to put him down, you know,
oh,
and
Ford blows a hole through his chest.
yeah,
He's like,
like
"I'm
they
doing him a
just,
favor."
and when he's down on the ground, that's when Boyce takes the butt of his gun and just starts bashing the guy's head until it pops like a balloon. And
Yeah,
you see,
that's how they end him, but
yeah,
you're skipping one really wild line and foreboding and dark phrase. Is after Ford blows a hole through his chest, Ford looks at evil Nazi dude and he's like, "What the hell was that?" And the guy looks at him and goes, "The 1,000-year Reich needs 1,000-year soldiers." And as soon as he says that, the body jumps back up
that's
and
true.
tries
Yeah,
to attack Ford, and Boyce rifle butts it to death. Just
yeah.
like explodes its head on the ground
And it's like, and
into
now we
mush.
have the reasoning, the why.
Yeah,
Like, not only are the Nazis in this war, and you got to think 1944, the war's been going on for a while now because America's now finally entering.
yeah, we're in
Um,
it now. So
we're finally in it. Like, this is the long con. This is the game plan of world domination and how we're going to
yeah,
achieve it. Once we kind of get this red serum figured out and
and
people aren't snapping their own necks.
the Thousand-Year Reich is not anything that was made up. That was an
No, like,
actual.
that's an actual thing, and it's just that's what makes it so much more, like, believable, I guess, of,
Mhm.
like, yeah, like, because we knew they were dealing with the occult stuff, and
Who knows what they were actually doing?
yeah,
Think about it.
like
So, I think now is probably a good time we can I'll tell you what, I think now's a good time for us to take a quick commercial break
yeah, quick commercial break.
because we're about to get into the castle, the
Yeah, we're getting
church.
into, Fortress Church.
Yep, and we're gonna move pretty quickly through this. So, let's play this, and we will be right back.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Hear the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his times in the territories with PG-13 to his times in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major podcast formats.
Welcome to the Monster Movie Stomp Down, where twice a month we review monster movies from all corners of the planet. Join me, Sludge.
I went to watch it the other night, and she's like, "Why are you watching this? You can quote this movie line for line." Like, that's very accurate.
My co-host Mark.
Don't ask me to do a stomp down on this because it's zero.
Okay, dude. Ruben, what's your stomp down rate?
And our brother from Texas, Ruben.
It's just, I'm like, wait a minute. They tricked me into watching this.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I'm like,
As we give you the history, our review, and the stomp down rating of some of the best and worst monster movies around. Available through the Podbean app, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Amazon. Make sure and check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy,
Kilmore Crites.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave,
I have the weirdest boner.
and Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Try that again. As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
And welcome back from that commercial break. I needed to get that in now because if we kept going,
We were
would
gonna
end up
forget
like
again.
we were going to forget it again. And I
And then
know it's
Pete would
our
make fun of
show,
us.
and we can do that, but I do try to have a little level of when people to expect these things. So now we have the ticking clock of D-Day pressing down on these guys because basically D-Day was in the early morning, so we are ticking down to early morning for them to get the antenna down. And this is also like when this movie cranks everything up to 11.
Oh
This
yeah, this is
yeah.
where we hit into a final act that is guns a blazing.
Oh, the final act, when it starts, it doesn't stop. So the movie starts super high and grabs you in. Then it needs to kind of tell you about these people because
Simmer
that's
and develop.
yeah, because that's a mistake some movies do. If it's too fast, I don't care about the characters. I don't care if they live or die. You take too long, I've now lost interest in the entire thing. So I feel like they did it correctly here. It's
No,
timed
they did a
well.
good balance because this
Yeah.
leaves you in the end wanting more in the
Oh,
best way possible.
100%. 100%. So, Nate, why don't you take us through what you call the third act?
Yeah, so it engages with our Nazi dude escaping. He kidnaps the little brother. Ford, our hero, manages to put some lead in some Nazis and even manages to shoot Super Nazi in the face. Takes
Oh,
out his
blows
entire jaw.
his whole cheek
Yeah,
is
like it,
gone.
and it's
I love that
dangling.
shot.
It's
Oh,
so great when you see it happen. Um, so then they decide like, A, now we have a rescue mission to do, and B, we have our main mission of blowing up this tower. So it
Yeah,
turns out,
Ford is on task. He's like, "We gotta
yeah,
go blow
we
up
have a
the
mission.
antenna."
Everyone
Chloe
else is like,
is
we gotta save the boy.
yeah, Chloe's like, "I'm going whether you guys come with me," and, uh, Boyd is like, "We gotta go save the kid. We could also take the antenna down at the same time."
Yeah, Tibbet's like, kill two birds with one stone. Screw it.
Yeah. So
Either way, we're coming back.
they get Ford on their side. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that little exchange between all of them basically coming onto the same page and like, "Okay, let's do both."
So there turns out there's 4 easy steps to a rescue mission.
Oh,
Step 1,
is there?
capture a Nazi. Step 2, use said Nazi to ride into the outside of the outpost. Step 3, blow that Nazi up with his Nazi friends. Step 4, snipe the surviving Nazis. And that's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what happens.
That is step by step, and I think the only thing I wanna highlight on that entire list was the use Nazi to blow up friends is they tie him to his motorcycle,
They tape his mouth shut.
tape his mouth shut, and he has to ride up to the gate. So he's trying to warn everyone, mumbling. And this is also when there's no subtitles for the Germans, and you know what they're saying. He's mumbling like you hear him going, "Don't touch the tape. Don't touch
Yeah.
the tape."
Don't pull this off my mouth.
And the commanding officer rips the tape off, which pulls the pin out of a grenade that is shoved in this dude's mouth. At the same time, one of the other soldiers pulls this blanket back in the sidecar, and there's explosives like lit, getting
Yeah.
ready to
They're
go
all
off.
waiting to go.
And this is just body parts and visceral and goo go
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, the
And
blood and like what flies.
then like after the dust settles, there's like these shots of some of the Nazis missing half of their faces. One dude's eyeball is like almost completely white and hanging out
Yeah.
of his. I'm like, this is glorious. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, this takes like the ending to the Dirty Dozen, but make it rated R.
Oh, 100%. This was great. And their other plan was there's only a few guys. So they leave Tibbet and Rosenfield to hold off the Nazis and pick them off.
So they're
But
sniping and they got like a light machine gun just
yeah,
mowing them down as
they've
they're
got a
coming
light
out of the
machine
gate.
gun, and basically their plan was don't let them know there's only two of you. So
Yeah.
engage here, then run around and engage them again. And they're engaging in all these different areas, trying to like keep them occupied while they make their way.
Which
Because
is where this movie is so brilliant in utilizing its budget of like, hey, we're gonna make it feel like this is a giant firefight, but we don't have that
yeah,
many people.
no, there's not. They make it feel like there's 50 Nazis, even though there's not any
Yeah,
that many
like you
on
really don't
one
see that many,
screen.
but you just see a lot of bodies fly down, like just getting mowed down and
This is
falling.
like, okay, you died. Go put a different outfit on and come
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the corner.
You wear that
Okay,
other
you're
Nazi helmet,
you're
and you're gonna
dead.
die again.
Go inside now. You're in the next scene. And Boyce leads everyone through the sewers, which is where he got out
Because he
from when he
vaguely
got stuck.
remembers where he's going.
He kinda. But
Yeah, and
still, I'm
Chloe's
with you,
with them
man.
as
I wouldn't.
well.
I wouldn't know where I was going. There's
No.
too much happening. So we get inside the bowels of the church again with our heroes.
When they're inside the church, I mean, you're getting everything that you could possibly love in a final act. They're planting explosives. They're
Oh yeah.
doing stealth kills. Um, they're, taking out whatever remains inside this base. And Chloe's kind of off on her own little side mission
Yeah,
where
she
she,
runs. She's like, I'm getting my brother. I don't
yeah, like
care
that's
about
her
your
main mission.
mission.
She's like, I don't care about this tower.
So she goes there. Ford is like telling Boyce, "Hey, we got to go to wherever you saw the antenna controls. We have to go there." And he also says we can also take out the lab you talked about with all the bodies, in there still alive. Because now he's fully on board with zombies. He goes, after what I just watched, that shit can't get out. So I'm
Yeah,
with you. We
no, we
gotta take
can't
it
have this
all down.
out and about.
And I love the fact that they still keep things somewhat traditional and realistic because now being the action guy, I remember Expendables when they have to blow up the building at the end. They're all running and throwing these sticky C4
Yeah.
things on the pillars. No, no, these two guys have bricks of explosives that they have to run yellow deck cord everywhere, all over. Like if any Nazi soldier came in, he'd be like, "I think they're up to something." I believe are some explosives here.
There might be something a little fishy.
Yeah,
I
and
don't remember those explosives being on that pillar.
I don't remember all this yellow wire.
I mean, I know
Something's
we're
not right.
Nazis, but I feel like we wouldn't leave our explosives laying around
And
like
I
that, would
don't
we?
remember that ticking stopwatch sticking out of that brick
It's good to know
going
that
off.
ticking noise isn't me going crazy.
So that it's realistic. That was the type of explosives they would use to, bring down targets. I mean, it's definitely blown up to insane proportions. One block of that would have done as much damage as they were showing
Yeah.
20 of them doing. And they're both doing it. It's not one room. Ford goes to the antenna room and Boyce is wiring up the lab. So there's like 50 blocks of explosives
In a
that they've
very
been
small radius.
and they've been carrying them in these little satchels. It's like there's way more explosives than
Hey,
what you're
Indiana
putting
Jones
out.
had a satchel.
Oh man, but I did like that. I was like, man, that really kind of puts it in the time frame. Let's run this wire. Let's run this.
Yeah.
I was loving
And
it.
while this is happening, Chloe is being led by a Nazi to show where her brother is being hidden. And like she opens up like this cell, you could call it. And when
Oh
she
yeah,
opens it
there's
up,
these cells everywhere.
she's like, he's not in there. And the Nazi's about to pull his gun on her, and that's when Boyce comes and saves the day and like hits him inside the head. And he's like, run, like we gotta get going. And when they do, that Nazi gets dragged into the cell. You don't know what it
Oh, I
is
love
just
that
yet,
part.
but he screams and gets dragged into it. Well, then it turns out that it's one of our scientific creations that has now escaped. He's got like a bone for an arm because he's missing his hand,
Yeah.
and he's all gooey and slimy.
Oh, he's
And
covered in something. I mean, this dude
yeah,
is sticky looking. This guy came from beyond,
yeah,
and
and
he is
he's
as gooey
shaved.
as that.
He's got no hair on him, and he is fast. This is like 28 days later, zombie fast.
Oh yeah, like World War Z or something like that. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
dude
definitely.
he's pumping arms and elbows as he's running. But
And
what I
she manages to
love,
get 3 bullets into his skull.
oh
And
yeah,
he's
she
still,
head pops him.
yeah.
This ain't your normal
And
one
this is
shot in the
great,
head.
like brains being like at the top of his head, like being thrown around, and
No,
like she thinks she's gonna escape, and nope, he gets right back up and charging full steam ahead.
I love this particular actor in this because he has those like herky jerky moments. Like you would kind of expect him to do it with the camera and they just would kind of,
Yeah, like they would just
mess
edit it
with
in
it.
post or something. No, that's
No,
like
this
one of
is
those
what
I don't know what they're called.
well, crap. Yeah, now you got me thinking about it. The guy that played like Abe Sapien in
Yeah, it's
Hellboy,
Doug Jones. Like that's his whole thing, like the way
those
he can
body
contort his
actors.
body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this guy's nailing it. And
Oh yeah.
it's his forearm, which are two bones, but they're basically coming out like daggers, but
Yeah.
they're still just bone. So he's using that like a weapon, trying to
It's a
like
great
stab
creature
her.
design
Oh,
because like imagine if you were to have 100 of these guys on your side, it's gonna do some damage on the battlefield
this
because they're
this
fast, they can take bullets,
this guy's
and
not going down
no.
easy. That she barely like gets a lead on him. She goes outside in like this alleyway as she finds my favorite part of the movie. She finds a flamethrower and she
Torch.
straps that bad boy on her back and she frickin' Sigourney Weavers this zombie running towards
Oh
her
yeah.
and she torches that thing, obliterates it.
It's an
I mean,
iconic shot to me because like we'll have to post it in the group when this
oh
episode
yeah.
drops of the look of determination on her face and as the flames are shooting out of that flamethrower.
Oh,
It's great.
she went total badass. She is like, bringing in all of the badass chicks, from Linda Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver, Mila Jovovich, all these women. She like watched every movie and scene they were all in, and then she filmed this
Yeah.
because
Yep.
I wouldn't have messed with her,
Nope.
regardless of
Not
the
at all.
flamethrower. I mean, she just looked mean, and she torches this zombie, which I also love. And you see it later when Boyce is running to get out of the place before it explodes. He runs past the dead, burnt zombie's body. It's still laying
I didn't
outside.
realize that.
I love when they do that. It's like playing video games. You remember when you would kill someone and the body would disappear?
Yep.
And now we are finally getting ones where it's like, oh, I remember I killed that
Oh
guy
yeah,
like
that's
2
that's the
hours
dude whose head
ago.
I took off.
Yeah, did I loot it? Yeah, I looted it. No,
Yeah, yeah.
Boyce runs past the burnt zombie in the alleyway, and I'm like, there it is. They left it. I
It did
love that.
disappear.
I loved it. It's stupid, but I loved it.
This is then we get to the final brawl of the movie,
Oh, so good.
which is our super Nazi prick versus Ford. And now
Well,
super
tell,
Nazi
tell him
prick,
tell him why he's super Nazi. We forgot
he
that
is
part.
taking the serum twice. He's taken it like twice into like his leg, and it's accepted him almost like venom. Like it is he is
Yeah,
now one with it. It didn't
so
mess him up.
the doctor said we've never tested it on live tissue. That's going to be my one thing I'm going to call bullshit on,
Yeah, you've
because
had to. The first thing you done was test it on some
you've
poor unfortunate fool
you've had to have tested it.
because
The
you've been
ant,
taking people.
yeah, the ant earlier was not already dead, or I guess maybe they killed her and put her into it. Maybe I got to
Maybe,
back that up a
maybe.
little bit. But I am not going to believe a mad Nazi scientist didn't go, I wonder what this is going to do to a live person, and stuck them. But anyway, he says we've never tested it. So he puts it he injects it into himself, and he hasn't died yet. So he
No, and
turns
now,
into super Nazi.
and he's got some super strength with them. And when him and Ford start flying hands, like he kicks the crap out of Ford, and it's just
He
like
puts
this
him up
round,
on a
I'm
meat
gonna win
hook.
this one. And like, yeah, he reversed Texas Chainsaw Massacres him because what happens is instead of that meat hook going into the back, like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it goes into the front, which looks 10 times more brutal
Dude.
because it's underneath the rib cage.
Yeah,
And
you're
like,
picturing like going through your flesh, and then all your weight is hanging on your rib cage.
yeah, and he is screaming and like he's trying to pull himself off of it, but you gotta think when he's
Oh,
trying to pull himself off of it, he slips, and then that hook just digs further into him.
so yeah, it's gonna hurt no matter what you do, but because he slipped, he falls on it again, and
Yeah.
you yourself watching this are just like, I can't breathe. Like
Oh
it
no, I
took the
would pass
air
out
out of
and
your
die
lungs.
and not survive World War II.
Once again, Nate has died again in World War II when he got impaled
I'm not
on.
making it out of this one, guys.
It was not even a sharp hook, so that was even worse. It was
No,
semi
like this
blunt.
hook is I don't even know the purpose of this hook. It was just
It was
there.
literally for lifting things. It's like industrial. So say you had heavy containers. That's what it was used to lift for, like a
Okay.
gantry.
It
So it
wasn't
wasn't
meant to hold a human being.
no, but they're Nazis. They tested it out, and they're like, I wonder what a human body's going to do on this hook, and that's what it did.
And like Boyce comes in to save the day and he gets thrown
He
through
gets
some
thrown
glass.
in because I still think he's suffering from a concussion.
Oh, most likely.
So much stuff has blown up around him, and then Ford gets himself
He
off
gets
of the
himself
hook.
off the hook and then
Finally,
he injects himself
he's
with
like,
the
"Screw it,
serum.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, like
Why
he's kind
not?"
of accepted his fate at this point. And after he like, juices up, then it turns into like a tackle brawl between him and Super Prick
Yeah,
because now they're slamming like wall to wall, and when they're slamming into like these brick walls, the bricks around them are crumbling. They're falling apart.
yeah, it's
They're
like
slamming
titans
into
fighting each
glass.
other. Yeah,
Yeah, they're slamming into medical equipment, and everything around them
and I like
is breaking.
I liked how, if you thought about it, why, like, wouldn't they be equal? Well, they're not. Ford took one shot, evil Nazi took two.
Yeah.
So technically, he would still be like twice as powerful, I guess. So he
Yeah.
still gets the upper hand on Ford. Ford's laying on the ground around all these canisters. He sees Boyce crawl his way back into the room, and the Nazis gloating and all this stuff. And Ford just rolls this canister towards the guy and the Nazi, and the Nazi looks at it like, "Really? That's the
Yeah.
best you could do?" And Ford starts laughing, and he looks over and he goes, "Boyce?" And Boyce has his handgun pulled out and shoots this container, blows up the Nazi, yet again blows up near him, fourth concussion in the
Yeah.
movie, blows this dude into this pit. So now
Yeah,
this
it's a
is where
giant pit in the center of the room that it throws his body into. It
I
throws Ford off to the right, like Boyce
yeah,
gets blown
everyone
back
like gets
again.
dispersed. So this is the one point where I have to bring up this part or I'll forget it and I'll leave everyone hanging. So this pit is full of what looks like oil, and it's at the bottom of this church. Well, what we've heard in this movie every so often is they talk about this gold mine that this particular town and this particular church is over top of. And the Nazis have figured out that it's not oil, it's like a toxin. It's like this ooze that is, think Ghostbusters 2 with the river of
Yeah,
slime.
it's gooey.
Yeah. So basically, this stuff has been under this village, unbeknownst to the villagers. Probably whoever built the original church with all of the like dungeons and tombs. There is a legit church on top. So that's what the Nazis are there for. They found this liquid and they've been testing it on the village to see what it does. And they figured out basically it's zombie juice.
Yeah, like it's such a cool like you could make like a comic book prequel
You could,
exploring
because
them, discovering
I
this and realizing what it does.
I took more time explaining it to you now than they did in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
If
And it's
you're
just one
not
of those
paying attention, you have
if
no clue
this
what
would have been
the
released in the late 80s, early 90s, it would have got a comic book tie-in.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
this would have been like Night of the Living Dead Part 2 when they found all the canisters with the green gas
Yeah.
in it. If you didn't see the part where the gas got released, you're watching the movie going, "Oh, zombies just come to life." So if you don't know this part about the goo, you're just thinking that the Nazis figured out a way to make zombies. So there's actually a subtext of why they were able to do it, but they kind of breeze past it. And I
It's breezed
wish
over real quickly. It's just you got if you miss it,
you
you're
miss
not realizing it.
if you miss anything, any part where they actually say something about it, you're not paying attention to anything
It's
else
a
that gets
blink and you
brought up.
miss it
It
moment.
it really is. But that's what it is. That's what happened. There's this zombie goo, and they're testing it on everyone. So he gets knocked into the zombie goo. He gets blown up. Boyce gets blown up. Ford comes to and realizes that they can't set off the timer. The timer got messed up on the explosives. So he's like, I got to set it off myself. So
Yeah, it
he
has to be a
locks.
manual detonation at this
Yeah.
point.
He pushes Boyce out of the room, and they all have gates and everything. Obviously, it's a dungeon. And he locks Boyce out. And Boyce is like, "No, come on, we can do it." And Ford's like, "I'm dead, dude. I'm a zombie.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want.
that.
I don't
There's
want to
no
keep
reason
going."
for me to even be alive at this point.
He's literally like, "I'm gonna finish the mission." Period. So he lights this explosive off. Boyce is still yelling at him through the door. The evil zombie dude comes crawling up out of the well, and like all his flesh is almost gone. His eyeballs are like inside of a skull. He's covered in the
Yeah,
goo. These other zombie GIs have been brought back because he wakes them up, and they're like all getting ready to like pounce on Ford, and the explosives go off and blows everyone to oblivion,
and you get
including Boyce again.
an incredible shot of Boyce running
flying.
away as
Well,
everything's exploding.
he flies first because he gets
Yes,
knocked by
because he
the
gets his,
initial explosion, and
buy
then
9 concussions, get the 10th one free on his punch
he's
card.
he sets off the antenna room because that explosion didn't set off the other explosion yet. He goes to the antenna room, gets that one set off, and then has to run away from yet another
But,
explosion.
like, the
And
way it's filmed, it's like a one-take shot as you
it
see
does feel
him
like a one
discharging
take
the
shot.
camera, and everything around him is blowing up nonstop, and it looks amazing. It is so cool.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he'll run one direction and he'll see the explosion coming towards him, and he stops and turns around.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's well done. And again, he runs out a door, and there's crispy zombie laying outside, and he runs past it.
And, like, he is charging at that very end because then, like, you feel claustrophobic with it as well, like, "Oh, man,
Oh,
get out of there," because
yeah,
it's all enclosing on him so quickly, and when he finally makes it outside and you see all the dirt and debris, like, blow past
it's
him,
that
it's
classic
such a, like,
shot.
relief, like, oh, oh
Yeah,
god, I can breathe now," like
like he barely makes it. And this whole
Yeah,
time this is going on, Chloe made it out with her little brother. She
yeah,
obviously
like
saved him and all this stuff. And they're out in a firefight with these Nazis with the other two guys that have been holding everybody at bay by themselves, which is
yeah,
still crazy that they were able to even do that. Like, I didn't see them have enough ammo to do what they were
right?
doing.
Not one moment did someone pick up an MP40 either and like, "Alright, we're gonna
No,
start using their weapons
he
against
doesn't
them."
pick up anyone's other weapons. And we do get a kind of a cool little thing where the kid has latched on to Tibbet throughout this movie, and it's funny because he's like mimicking him and copying him. And the kid comes running out from the castle where he was captured, and he gets stuck like in the crossfire. And Tibbet's like, "Oh Jesus, I got to go out there and save this kid," and runs out there to save the kid, and obviously gets shot in the process, but is still alive. And they finally, eliminate all the Nazis. The Chloe comes in and basically annihilates all of them with a machine gun.
Yep.
Cleans house, and then Boyce comes out. Everyone's like, "Hey, we did it! Yay! I
Yeah,
got
and
shot
then
though."
our savior unit comes by like, "Hey, job well done, boys." Like, "You
Yeah,
did
so
it."
the invasion happens. We it's the turning point of the war as we know in real life. That's what that moment was the turning point,
But
and
this
we're
squad's mission is not over yet because 'cause they're like, "Hey, once you get cleaned up, we're sending you back out."
yeah, I was like, man, that was kind of messed up. One dude's in the infirmary. They've taken over the town, made like their HQ, and their commander officers talking to Boyce, and he's like,
War doesn't
"Uh,
take a break.
yeah," he's like, "So it's just you and so that got out." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Ford didn't make it." No, he goes, and then he does this, what you expect the government to say. He was like, "I'm hearing rumors that there was something going on inside that church other than the antenna. Can you confirm that?" And Boyce is just like, "Nope, just an antenna, and it was just the control room underneath." And he goes, "So there's nothing for us to go dig through the rubble and take a look?" He goes, "Nope," and turns around and walks
Yep.
away.
Because like, the way he talks about it, he's like, "Oh, you guys kinda went overboard on what you blew up. Kinda unnecessary." There's like,
Yeah, and
"So,
I did like
what's
how
going
Boyce,
on down there?"
because I did like that they were making it out like all you guys had to do was take out an antenna. And so Boyce had to explain to him that, "Well, sir, it was really well fortified.
Yeah.
And we realized in our diminished numbers, we were not going to be able to do a frontal assault. So we figured out a way to take it out from below." So, the commanding officer's like, "Oh, cool, great job." And
Yeah,
he literally
awesome.
says that. He's like, "Great job. I wish Ford was here so I could commend him on that, but he knows he's dead." And the cool part is one of the things Ford tells Boyce before everything ends, he's like, "Neither side should have what's down here." Even Ford
Yeah,
is
no,
like,
neither side
"This
needs
is
this,
bad juju."
creation from hell.
So that's kind of emphasizes his sacrifice was. He's like, I got to take it down because nobody needs to know about
Yeah, because
this.
if not, like, if the movie would have done that, it's like, well, you killed Ford for literally no reason,
Right, you killed
you
Ford
know?
only to let Boyce get out. That was
Yeah,
really it because the antennas still come down and all that. But
that's the
seriously,
movie.
seriously well done movie. I like I said, I was hooked from the beginning. It's it's a insane roller coaster ride when you're on the plane down to when they paratroop down into, as they're trying to navigate through enemy lines, even when they're holed up, like Nate was talking about, there's this very claustrophobic feel in the movie at times. And while the attic is fairly big, obviously for filming, it still felt very
Yeah,
claustrophobic.
because they're just stuck up there and, like,
Yeah, there's you
you
can't go
can't make a
outside.
peep.
Yeah, you can't do anything. And then this movie just cranks it, and I'm going to say back up to 11 because the beginning of this movie is an 11. So the end of the movie, it's like it goes 11. Let's drop you back down to about a 7.5, 8. Nope, back up to 11.
Yep. And to me, like, this movie made the right call being a war movie first, horror movie second. The
100%.
sequel that we'll never get, but should, needs to flip the script. It needs to be horror movie first, war movie second, in my opinion, because there's a
Yeah,
lot of potential here that has been untapped. Um, it just kind of leaves you just like, oh, what other monsters could they have made? What other creatures are there? Stuff like that.
because
And
if you really start thinking about it, you would be like, there's no way they kept everything in one
oh
location.
yeah, they definitely had to have been transporting this to a neighboring
Well,
village.
they were trucking dead bodies out.
Yeah.
They and again, they do this movie well enough to where you're reminded of the horrors of this war. So there's actually a scene in this movie we didn't talk about, but I feel like we should shine a little bit of a light on it, how well they did it tactfully. So there's a scene where they're leading all of the villagers out of the dungeons, the tunnel at the bottom, and they line them all up and torch them with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Well, what you're watching is they are destroying the infected, the inferior test
Yeah, the
subjects.
ones that didn't do what they want 'em to be,
Right. But if you're watching this movie of, oh crap, I'm watching a World War II movie about Nazis, you just watched what they were doing to normal people.
it's funny because Hannah had mentioned that last night when they were like, "Oh, like, I feel bad saying they torched those experiments because that's an actual human being. Those were victims."
Yeah.
And,
No,
and
you're supposed
we're
to like
mentioning
it
them as
was.
experiments. It's like, "Oh, wait, no, this is a very real thing."
Yeah, and they even it shows Boyce watching it and the emotion he's feeling. Like he wants to do something, but he knows if he does, he's going to get killed. So he's witnessing these horrors, and they do it in a horror movie about zombies. Yet you're still subtly reminded about the atrocities that they had done in real life.
Yeah.
And
And
I like I not that I like that they did it. I liked how they approached that subject matter of villagers or Jews or whatever, everything the Nazis were pure evil.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see, like, let's say you never watched the trailer of this movie, you didn't know anything about it, and you popped it in. You're gonna think you're in for a war movie, and then it
Oh
flips
yeah.
the script on you. You're like, "Whoa, what did I get myself into?" I have no idea what that experience would be like because I already knew what the movie was about going in,
That
but
was that's where
that would be a very jarring thing to have.
and this is I know we've talked about it before, and I will beat this drum till the end of time. This is where I feel like trailers ruin certain things. I will say though, this movie's trailer does it really well, where
No,
it
this,
doesn't give
trailer does a really good
away.
job of keeping its cards close to its chest.
Right. But I feel ultimately that's what hurt the movie. People didn't really know this was a zombie horror movie.
Not unless you were someone like me who knew hey, this is coming out. I know this is gonna be a Nazi zombie movie. This is gonna be right up my alley. Like, but I had to seek that out. Like, that's just something to me being on the internet, you know?
Exactly. So me, I knew a movie called Overlord came out. I knew J.J. Abrams was involved, and I'm like, I may check that out later. And it totally went by. I mean, it's 2018, and we just watched it in 2021. So that's how long it took me to actually sit down and watch this movie. But I would have loved to have watched this movie with no prior knowledge about it. It's like I said when I had Dan and my dad watch Nobody for the first time. And I'm like, here is a DVD. I'm not telling you shit about it. Stick the movie in and watch it because that is the purest I can give you this
Yeah.
experience of this movie. Dad's like, I'm glad you did that. He goes, I was not expecting what happened. Dan was like, I am glad you did that. He goes, I had an idea because I kind of remembered the movie, the trailer that was like a year before that came out, but he was still like, I was not prepared for what I watched, and it was glorious. And I'm
I
like,
remember that trailer I turned off because it was just one of those trailers. Like, as I was watching it, I was like, nope, I don't want to know anymore. The first like 30 seconds or whatever, 45 seconds sold me enough to where I was like, if
yeah,
I watch any more, I'm gonna see all the good kills, and I need to avoid that. I have
yeah,
to.
no, I agree, and I'm guilty of the new trailer for was it Ghostbusters Afterlife? The final trailer just came out the other day, and yep, I watched it. And
I've
it's
avoided it. I've been avoiding those trailers up until I think it was Venom when we went and saw it. They showed a trailer. I was like, well, shit, I gotta watch
yeah,
this now.
you're
Like,
sitting.
because I'm
That's the other.
sitting there, I'm stuck.
That was the other thing. Yeah, sometimes you're sitting in the theater and you can't skip it. You can't like I'm not going to
Nope.
click play on YouTube. Nope, it's
Like, I
there
haven't
for you
watched
to.
the trailer to the new Scream movie yet. I'm gonna try to make it
I
till
haven't either.
January. It's gonna be hard, but I'm trying to avoid it because I don't want anything spoiled for me. I kind of like when movies like what Marvel did with Infinity War, where it's like they gave us a trailer, but they included fake scenes, so then
Well,
we didn't
they
know.
had that, and then we were just talking in our group chat with us and the boys. Spider-Man: No Way Home's getting ready to drop a trailer, and there are so many supposed leaks and
Well, every day is a
possibilities of
new leak, and I'm over it. Just
I
release
am
the
over it.
damn
I'm
movie.
tired of it's like, look, we all have this pretty good idea who and what is in it. We just need you to say yes or no because I'm kind of getting over it real
Yeah.
fast.
Yep. And it's just like,
I'm
and
not saying
it's
I'm not going to
still
watch the
another month
movie.
and a half away.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch the movie.
Oh no, I'm gonna go
I'm
see
just
that opening
saying, man,
weekend.
I'm getting a little bit of like Spider-Man fatigue right now,
Well, the
but
same thing happened though with Endgame, where it was like Hulk Smasher 69 had a new fan theory every
yeah,
day of how they were going to time travel. It's like, oh my god, just let this movie come out already.
they did it with all the Star Wars movies. Speaking
Yep.
of, we're talking about a J.J. Abrams movie, and all that kind of got screwed up on that. But all right, well, we've digressed far enough. Let us jump into. You want to do Raining Blood?
Let's do Raining Blood.
Let's do Raining Blood. So this one's a little nervous about trying to find the body count on because I was like, man, trying to find like who actually counted like the exploding planes and
Yeah,
how
and
many people were on there, and obviously we're not counting anything that was not like on screen.
I feel like we got some deads in here too.
There I think so. What I did was I found a YouTube video of someone that went through and they had the little counter in the corner, and every time a kill would happen, the counter went off. Well, every time a plane blew up, it would jump up by like 16. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. They
Okay,
probably
yeah, because that's
looked
probably how
up.
much a unit is in per plane or something.
So I was like, yeah, pilot, co-pilot, all that stuff. So he probably added all that up. I was like, I'll believe that. And then as everyone, someone got shot, someone got killed, all this would happen. And because we probably didn't see every GI that died initially, they were already zombies by the end of the movie. They did only get counted as one, but I guess they are dead, so they were counted as they died in the movie. So this guy came up with 100, and he went through every action scene with the counter. And I watched the whole video, and I'm like, it looks accurate to me. It didn't look like he missed any like scene that had shooting or anything happening. So there was 100 dead bodies in this movie.
All right then.
With
That's a nice even
we'll
number.
we'll put the asterisks up of there were possibly deads, and then the countless others that died because it was World War II.
Yes, yes.
So that is there. Is there anything else we want to talk about this movie before we rate it? I mean, we've kind
Um,
of walked through it as we talk.
no, not really. I mean, we kind of already talked about like the horror war genre is a little hard to tackle because of horror being war. I do
Yeah,
want us at some point to cover Dead Snow 2 because Dead Snow 2 is phenomenal.
yeah.
um,
I'd be interested in doing that one. And I know we have we talked about it a little bit at the beginning. This movie was done heavily with practical effects by choice. We were expecting there to be like this special effects house that was involved in it.
yeah, we
Like
thought there'd be like a studio
yeah,
involved.
just one thing you click on. But what we found in both of our research was it's like they cherry picked all these guys from all these different companies, and they all came together on this one. And my guess is, oh, I get to do a movie with J.J. Abrams that's under the Bad Robot banner. I'm in.
Yeah,
Where
sign
do
me
I
up
sign up? Yeah.
because this will be good on the resume for the next project. So this had to have
So
been.
we are going to start highlighting those special effects people. Without them, we wouldn't have these movies. And I will mention that the VFX, the visuals, predominantly was done by ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. Disney, Lucas, all that stuff. But there were others that were involved as well. It wasn't just them. There was a laundry list of people involved. But
Yeah, to me, it feels like these guys had an opportunity to work with JJ, jumped on it because it wasn't like their studio was involved. It was just
no,
here's a hired gun, here's another hired gun.
I think
So these guys did great work, and I really do hope that we get to see more from them. It was just kind of hard to like narrow it down to who was in
yeah, we
charge of all
we
this.
couldn't just say this guy, this guy, this guy. And it
Yeah, it
was
wasn't like, oh,
also
Joe Smith did this, this, and this, and he used to work on these movies. Like it wasn't quite like this with this movie, which is very strange,
it
not
is, but
expected.
I kind of like this type of this is an independent movie without being restricted by the independent budgets or anything.
Yeah,
This
because of
was
who was producing it.
yeah,
Like, if
J.J.
it didn't have
Abrams.
JJ, then that budget would be cut in half instantly
Yeah, so J.J. was able to get the funding, but he also got a relatively unknown director.
with
Uh,
relatively unknown actors. Because even this is the first thing I recognize Wyatt Russell in, I think.
he was only in a handful of things before this, and again, this movie probably got him U.S. agent. Not to mention, he sticks himself with a serum in this movie, and sticks himself with a serum in uh, Winter
Yeah.
Soldier and Falcon. I didn't miss that irony of it. And he kind of plays the similar character type, military. I have a job to do. This is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do. Totally feel like this got him the job. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to shine a light on was this is kind of like an independent movie without an independent movie
That's a
budget.
really
And
good point.
yeah, let's do our machetes.
Yeah.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Woo!
Well, Nate, I think I went first last time, so I'm going to let you lead off since you picked this movie.
All right. So I had to do some math on this one. So I
Oh my
broke it
gosh.
up into two categories. I was like, I'll do horror and I'll do action because that's what this covers. And on the action scale, I gave it a 9 out of 10. On the horror scale, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. When I combine those together and do the math and the dividing and the carry of the numbers, it's a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Could have done that math for you pretty quick there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. But, I had to bust out the whiteboard, the notes. I had to get
So
lost. Had to figure
I
out where the moon was on the certain angle of the night.
I listened to a podcast, these guys out of Canada called Action Podcast, and they've shared their stuff. We're buddies on Instagram and stuff, but they have their big list of action movies that they're doing. Well, their ratings get down into the decimal point.
Oh,
Like it can be
jeez.
like a 6.19 or a 7.25. And if it ties with another movie that ends up with that score based on how they all score it, they then go, okay, is it better than this one or does it
Oh,
deserve to
no.
be
See, that
below?
throws the whole rating out the door.
Dude, these guys, they're braver than I am. So big shout
Oh,
out to Action Podcast guy. If you guys are listening, I love everything you do about that, but I'm never doing that. We're stopping at halves.
halves are easy.
Halves. It took Dan forever to twist my arm to get to 10. So
Yep.
it's 10
Yep.
and then halves.
But I feel like solid 7.5 for this one.
I'll agree. Yeah.
It is a fantastic movie. So,
I didn't go into as much math and debate as you did. I went, loved the beginning, middle made sense. I needed to care about the characters, and you ramped it up to an insane level at the end of the movie. I gave it an 8. I will only ding it on they did so well with the last part of the act. I wanted more.
yeah.
I
And it's a
wanted
good
more
thing to want more.
zombies. I wanted more body parts flying.
I
But
wanted more goo.
yeah, I
I
did
wanted more
appreciate
slime.
what I was again, the Nate's coin phrase, it's quality over quantity.
It
And
was.
this movie, although it does have an action movie body count, this is still a horror movie at its soul.
And
Um, and very well done. Super recommend it. I think you can probably get it on.
it's
I
on
think
Paramount Plus right now.
is it Paramount Plus?
Yeah, it's
Obviously, you
streaming on
can
there. If not, you
rent it
can
off
rent
of
it on
Amazon.
anything else for like $2-3.
I bought the Blu-ray, like I said, almost a year ago. I just happened to have this. The special features were really good too. It gets a little
Yeah, I'm
bit
a little
more in
confused. I bought
depth.
the digital copy, and it's like, here's your special features. Hey, you can't watch these. I was like, but I own
Oh,
them.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like sometimes I'll get like those multi packs, and it's like the DVD, the Blu-ray, and all this stuff. Like either the DVD will have the special effects or the special features, or the Blu-ray does. It's never on both discs,
No, it never is.
and it almost never is on the digital copy that I send either you or Dan. Like I send
Yeah.
you the horror ones, and Dan gets the action ones. Because it's like hey, I'm
It makes
basically
sense.
getting three
We're going
movies.
to cover it.
I love buying the Blu-ray DVD digital because I get the Blu-ray. I give my dad the DVD because he hasn't upgraded yet, and then I send either of you the digital. So I'm like, that's 3-for-1 savings
Yeah,
right
it
there.
works
Come
out
on,
pretty well.
especially when you host a podcast. It just works out good for
Gotta
the
do what we
math
gotta
and
do.
the bottom line because all this comes out of our pocket, but it's
Yeah.
fine. All right, man. I think we have done this movie justice. We've done our due diligence.
I hope you
Everyone
guys
needs to
check it
watch
out.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it. Tell us about it. Talk about it. We'll share some excerpts from this once the episode drops. Um, yeah, just a really, really good time. And I'm just now realizing we've left out our mascot. So for every bloody scene in this movie,
Bloody marvelous, bloody marvelous.
bloody
Mhm.
marvelous. Thank you, Benny. I don't know why I keep forgetting about him. So Nate, we still got the word. What's the good word?
Groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.